Hey guys, it's Tyler with TCG Rewind. Today I'm going to be doing another reaction video to History of Jank number 46. It's pretty apparent that Cimo and MBT are still going down the list of decks on my website, tcgrewind.com, and I'm going to just, take a shot in the dark and guess that they probably didn't shout me out again, which is a little sad, but, we'll see, we'll give them a chance. Maybe they did. But if they're not going to shout me out and help me grow, at least I'll use their content and react to it to maybe gain some subs or something. So that's a good reminder. If you like this content, if you like these videos, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me grow my channel. I appreciate it. That being said, I just want to give a quick disclaimer or reminder that these videos are not intended to flame Cimo and MBT or hate on them for their gameplay or anything like that. It's just to analyze their gameplay and talk about how they could play some of these decks a bit better. Typically, people don't know a whole lot about the decks in the 2011 format, and so they kind of misread things or misrepresent them. So want to make sure they do the decks justice. And while I am openly flaming their gameplay, it's not with the intent to berate them or make them feel bad. It's literally just to kind of show you guys how to play the 2011 format better and even play some of these decks better. So yeah, we'll just get right into it.
Countless champions have been crowned throughout the history of competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! But what about the underdogs, the dark horses, the decks that upon first glance make you question everything you thought you knew about the game? In this series, both MBT and myself will be showcasing some of Yu-Gi-Oh's wackiest unsung heroes. Each episode will feature new decks, new strategies, and the results will be unpredictable. You've seen the history of Yu-Gi-Oh! But this is the history of Jank. If you want 5% off,
this is probably where they belong. So if you're unfamiliar with Cimo, last time that we took them for a spin, but that was on History of Yu-Gi-Oh! This is probably where they belong. So if you're unfamiliar with Sea Lancer,
this man's not giving Sea Lancer frogs enough credit. So based on their thumbnail, I know for a fact that if MBT's not playing Piper Chaos, that has to mean that Cimo's playing Piper Chaos. Which I think that this deck, Lancer Frogs, is actually really, really strong. You resolve Sea Lancer, it's a powerhouse. It's actually really hard for your opponent to deal with outside of things like maybe Book of Moon, Caius, or Chaos Orc BLS, one of those cards. We run Valor to kind of deal with that, but at the same time, I really think if you resolve it and you can have this card stick, it actually can blow your opponent out pretty nicely. Yeah, I think it's really strong. That being said, I will say that I know that if Cimo's playing Piper Chaos, that that would probably be this deck's worst matchup, since there's multiple copies of Caius, Chaos Orc BLS, and multiple Effect Veilers, and even DD Crow for the Frog Engine. All those cards are main decked. It's pre-sided in against this deck from the get-go. So I would if I had to place my bets, I would just assume that MBT probably loses this set. Just because I think this matchup is really, really hard. If you're trying to redeem Lancer Frogs, I don't think this is the matchup to do it in. I think you're picking probably this deck's worst matchup out of the entire 2011 meta. That being said, I do have this deck as tier 1. I think that it does not belong in Jank. It is very competent, very good. All right, we'll go jump to Cimo here.
Look at this deck and think, okay, this looks quite competent, but this is sort of one of those optical illusions where the longer you look at it, the worse it ends up being, because you start discovering more and more things you don't like. And yeah, that's the deck.
Bro, what do you not like about this list outside of maybe 41 cards? All right, honestly, this list is pretty solid. Treeborn Frog is super abusable in this deck. And the other thing that happens in this deck a lot is you resolve Piper so much that you have to discard for hand size sometimes, or set a bunch of back row you don't want to set. So having Treeborn Frog is kind of nice because you can just pitch it for hand size instead of trying to summon it or whatever. But yeah, overall this deck is super competent. This deck won a YCS in 2012. This is only a year later, and the deck really isn't all that different from that 2012 list. So yeah, this deck is actually phenomenal. Again, another tier 1 deck, and then look at all these cards that are just so good against MBT's deck. It's just so much stuff, and it's gonna be it's a pretty dominant matchup. The only other card really to look at in this deck is Shooting Star Dragon. There's one reason why it's in here, and it's because of the Treeborn Frog enemy controller play. If you like Treeborn Frog, tribute it, and bring the Treeborn Frog back, and you steal your opponent's Stardust, you can normal summon a Veiler or a Glow Bulb, sync 2, and then sync with their Stardust. So it's like this deck has a lot of ways to steal your opponent's monster, and Stardust is usually a typical defensive card people put up. So this has a nice little out to Stardust if your opponent makes it, which I think is kind of cool. Other than that, it's pretty basic. Piper, you know, goes to grave, reveals a card. If it's level 1, you get a draw again. So this card's like Pot of Greed. You can bring it back every turn with Kinkabayo. Everything's light and darks. You're making chaos monsters. There's also a ton of defensive tools where you have like double Trag, triple Fader, and then even like Gores, which means that like you can just hold everything in your hand, and it's really hard for your opponent to just like swing through your defenses. You know, it's like, yeah, it stalls very nicely. And has a very strong offense and defense. It's a really good deck.
We're playing for History of Jank today. This is Piper Chaos. Now, Piper Chaos centralizes around Mystic Piper, a secret rare.
Yeah, we don't need to hear him explain it.
Joseph,
I
as we
explain it
continue
better.
our way down the junk hellscape that we find ourselves in.
Going fast makes me fit. Oh, hey guys. Real quick, while you're in this video, before we jump into their gameplay, I wanted to just mention, if you haven't seen my other series on my channel, I have another series known as Tournament of Tournaments, where I play against Joe Girolando in a single elimination bracket tournament, where we play multiple decks from the 2011 format. In fact, basically the entire library. We randomize them, and we are playing out a tournament using those decks, so you can see a variety of different gameplay videos from like all the different decks available in the format. So if you like decks like Lancer Frogs and maybe want to see the deck, no offense, piloted a bit more competently, you can check out my series with him, Tournament of Tournaments. I'll add a link to the specific one where we play Lancer Frogs in the description below, but overall, check out the whole series. It is fantastic. It's a lot of fun, and I'm sure you guys will love it. But anyway, back to the video.
I don't know. Both of these decks at least were like semi-playable, but it depends on your definition of playable.
Yeah, I mean, these are not the worst.
Well, these guys just need to watch my tier list video on the format, because like there's 72 decks on the 2011 format that I have on my website, and out of those 72 decks, they've like isolated multiple tier 1 decks that they're like, oh, these were bad. In reality, like both the decks they're playing are really good. At least they're giving them credit that they're saying these are like kind of competent, but like in reality, these decks are really powerful in the meta of 2011. There's so many other decks on my website that are just like extremely like jank, you know, like they're like, you know, there's like Morphtronics, there's like, you know, Cloudian, even like things that are like a bit jankier but still like kind of strong, like Ice Barriers, for example. Rockstun's another cool deck. Like there's some decks that are a bit jankier and like maybe harder to pull off, but like are still like pretty functional and cool to showcase. I think it's really weird that they're just like picking like decks that are like actually like relatively meta and then being like, oh man, these are some jank decks. I just think there's other options they could have been going for, but
Lancer Frogs was pretty well represented at the local and the regional level. It has a top or two over the course of this time period. Your deck has one really impressive finish.
That's about it.
Yeah,
It ends there.
yeah.
It's like Nordic all over again. So maybe we should have pitched this against Nordic, but we'll see. I get to play with some really fun.
Disrespected Nordic again. Nordic's OP.
And, I guess to be fair, you do as well. That's the spirit of History of Jank. Let's just get into it. I can't wait to see how it goes. Shout out the patron, Melty Jack. Thank you for the support. I actually rolled the die, buddy. I'm sorry. I didn't.
Shout out to TCG Rewind for giving us our deck list for our content 3 episodes in a row. Whoa, who said that? That's crazy. It'd be kind of cool if they said that.
I can ask you which one. It was a 5 though, so if it makes you feel
it's
better.
fine, no big deal.
We'll see. If it matters, it'll come to it. But ooh, this looks pretty good.
That
We
hand's
still get to
nuts.
drop return, don't we?
We do.
Main phase 1. Well, I kind of just want to go for it and see what happens. So let's. I will normal summon Mystic Piper.
Let's go, baby.
I will activate Mystic Piper, which will allow me to sacrifice it to draw and reveal one card. Okay, it is not a level 1, so I do not get to live the dream. It is 1-for-1, though, which isn't bad. Yeah. I will set one card, and I will throw it to you.
This is a really boring setup, but let's just do this.
In reality, he's banking on summoning Trag, so I don't even think it's worth setting the Econ, because, like, if in the event that you get Treeborn set up, like, you don't want this card set. Like, you also, like, in game 1s, when you're running decks like Frogs and stuff like that, it's actually really bad to set back row, just because of the fact that it lets your opponent use their dead MSTs to, like, remove cards at your disposal. But, like, unless you, like, really need the defensive tool of, like, setting Econ to switch something to defense, you generally want to hold all your spells and traps in your hands, just so your opponent's, like, Heavy Storms and MSTs are just dead draws for the whole game. At least as much as you possibly can.
Okay, we'll draw. Well, you know, it is the namesake of the deck, and clearly I have no issue doing this. I will normal summon another Mystic Piper.
Yeah, go for it, dog.
I will trigger the effect. Let's see. Damn it. Okay. At least we get to add these to hand. At least they just don't get milled. Yeah. That's pretty cool. Then I'm going to activate Foolish Burial.
That's fine.
Let's dump ourselves a copy of Treeborn Frog.
Also fine.
Then I think I'm just feeling content just passing, so you can go for it.
That's fine. I'll draw for turn. I'm going to set one more and pass it back.
I see. The too many frogs problem.
This is the awkward part of Piper Chaos, is it almost is dependent on your opponent swinging in, so you can abuse cards like Tragodia, because you don't actually have a lot of, like, super offensive normal summons outside of, like, Tour Guide, and then, like, your Piper. That being said, like, because you have Piper and cards like Kinko where you can constantly kind of generate advantage, you're actually not really pressured to do anything either. So, like, Cimo's actually in a relatively decent spot. Although it'd be really nice if, like, he could see the Kinka for his multiple Pipers in grave now.
Problem going on over there. All right, I'll draw. Main one. Sadly, I do not have myself a third Mystic Pipe. So let's try and... do I even need to try? Like, I feel like I'm fine. Fuck it, go.
Stand by, man.
What are you going to do? Set another frog?
I'm going to MST your back row.
See, there's the MST.
I'm going to reborn your Treeborn Frog.
Sure. That is a frog.
I'm going to tribute Treeborn Frog and Ronin Totem for Lad.
Uh-oh.
And I'll get in for 28.
Sure. No response.
Wait.
There.
So you might...
He has Battle Fader Trag in hand, and he wants to try to out this card. He could literally just activate these effects. It's not like it, like, destroys them or anything. You could just, like, burn 2 to, like, reduce this monster's attack. And then you can just do it again on your next turn. Like... It's kind of sus that he just, like, took it. The only reason why I could see you not doing it is if you really just don't want to show that you have Battle Fader Trag. Maybe at least do Battle Fader, because, like, if you have Battle Fader, there's not much your opponent can really do about it. Trag, like, there's maybe some ways to play around it if you're expecting it. So, I don't know. It does put him in a, like, awkward spot, because there's, like, almost nothing in his hand that currently deals with this outside of, like, you know, BLS.
Might be realizing why I reborned your Treeborn Frog here.
Yeah, that could be any reason why, honestly. All right, stand by.
Reborn the Treeborn was smart.
The problem is that Lad is an asshole, so I need to figure out how I'm going to deal with him. I suppose this does it, even though I'm not, like, super keen on it. I'm going to activate 1-for-1 pitching Battle Fader.
Sure, goes to 23.
This is a good workaround to the issue.
Now with a light and a dark.
Ooh, that's a nice one.
Yep, don't have anything to negate that. I will, let me see. This has to go to the grave to trigger, right? Right. So let me see. So I could attack over it. You have to blow up the field, so I actually get the frog back. So that is definitely the better play here. So we will get in.
All right, I'll take 700 here. I will target... who do I want to bring back? Let's target Ronin Totem.
This Treeborn Frog dies too.
So I'll destroy all cards I control. Special the Ronin Totem.
All right, and then second attack with BLS. I'll just take out Ronin. You have a Treeborn, which makes it pretty good for you. Second main, I've got nothing else. Just sitting on the boy. Go ahead.
Stand by. Well, I'd like to. You've got a big boy there.
Yeah, he's quite large.
Yeah, I'm just gonna set one and pass.
We'll draw. Stand by. I'll bring back my frog.
Yep.
Main one. I will sack my Treeborn for
Oof.
Caius. And let's just banish
Jesus. Yep.
this. Let's go 24 3K.
2,400, 3,000. All right,
The 3K is pretty ballsy there because you're just like not respecting Gores at all. Yeah, I don't even think there's another dark in his grave right now. So like, yeah, this is like really risky. Ideally, like you just swing in with the 24 and then just like pass, because on the next turn you have game if you swing in with the BLS, but it's not worth doing it in this turn.
I'll trag here.
That's fine. I've got no follow-up. Go ahead.
Stand by. Let's summon back Treeborn. Oh, jeez. What is the trag at?
It's your cards in hand, right? So 18.
I'm gonna econ the Treeborn. We'll take BLS here. Grab the boy back. Go main one. All right, how do I want to do this? He's 12 now. I'm gonna normal summon Valor here. Sync these two off for formula.
Is he gonna go Armory Arm? I feel like technically Armory Arm would be game outside of if Trag's involved here. Because like if you swing in and he's at 4K and he swings over, that's gonna do 4K damage, and then he could swing again. Outside of, again, if Trag is actually placed on the field. So it is a little tough, but I mean that's still gonna be Cimo's at 59 or 52, so he's like a little short game.
I'll send poison,
and it is a bit of a gamble.
Sure.
All right, we're gonna send another poison draw. I'm gonna activate Trag here, targeting Ronin Totem
to make it a 2.
Yep, and then we're gonna go 2, 4, 6 for Bryo.
Ooh, I don't like the Bryonac here. Like, yeah, that's really awkward. I think you almost like have to go for the Armory Arm play. That or like, because like then you can at least you have game if you Armory Arm outside of if he has Trag, which he does. Obviously MBT doesn't know that, but you're already in kind of like an awkward bad spot. The other tough thing about this is the fact that like he kind of needs to use, if he's like gonna gamble the Trag, he could lose to Trag, like lose the game because he got tragged. And then if he doesn't gamble the Trag, like the smarter thing to do would have been to probably take the Caius and then synchro for 8 and like kill the Colossal or kill the BLS with a like Scrap Dragon or something. Because in reality, it's really tough to actually like pull this play off. Because now he's just going to be in a super bad spot because he can't like attack and then like banish, right? So like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's a much more optimal way to play out this turn.
All right, we'll try for it. Combat.
So this is 6.
Yep.
And then you get another attack here, so that'll be 3, and then 23, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Well, I may as well stave off some of the damage, so I'll bring out my own Trag.
Sure. I'll just walk in with the Bryo then.
Just Bryo not attacking the second time with BLS?
No.
Okay.
And this is crusty, but I'll activate BLS.
Banish himself.
Oh, it can't attack at all the turn this is activated.
Oops.
Oh, is that what you were trying to do?
Yeah, shit. Well, I might just be dead here.
There is some balance to BLS, you know. Like, it's a pretty broken card, but you know, it at least has some balance to it.
You are 100% dead if you have no way to stop a second BLS hit.
I don't think I do. I would, in that case, I would do the second attack and then go direct with Bryo here.
So I would take 23.
Second main, I'll, oh god, summon Ronin, and back to you.
So I get BLS back.
Another, I guess he can't make, no matter what, he can't make Bryo here. There's a world where he could, like, try to use Swap Frog to bounce, like, the BLS back to Cimo's hand for cost, but it's pretty scuffed. This whole thing is really scuffed. Like, MBT just kind of misplayed this, and this is definitely just going to be game.
And I have Chaos Orc.
That will do it. Ooh,
yep.
boy, that's Piper.
That's Piper. That's misplaying. That wasn't Piper.
Well, you know, BLS into Chaos Sorcerer. I've been losing to it for about a decade now. Why not throw another loss onto the pile?
Bruh, you literally just lost to your own play. that was a BLS Chaos Sork. I mean, yeah, those cards are what won the game, but like you had options there. You just kind of, you know, had all these options and got confused, and then just like slapped your hands on the table and realized you lost.
Yeah, it's only fair, right? You had your trag, I had my trag. Everyone gets a trag.
Folks, we've all been there, and I'm there right now. Okay, let's pitch Swap Frog for Swap Frog.
Sure.
Activate Swap Frog. Gonna send Treeborn. We'll put this guy back to hand. Use my extra normal on Swap Frog.
That's fine.
Send a Ronin Totem.
That's not an extra normal. He special summons the Swap Frog, and then he gets to normal summon.
Putting him back. Use my
I would expect
normal.
nothing less.
And you're good.
Wait.
Normal.
Wait. Did he just normal Swap Frog and then bounce the hand and then normal set another monster? Nice.
Summon Tour Guide.
Sure.
Activate.
That's fine.
Let us grab Tour Guide. So it's probably just some 2K idiot, right? So I'll go for a...
Bro, get your Sangan. Like, you want to get Piper running? Like, he doesn't have any presence on this board whatsoever. You do not need to make Leviathan Dragon. That's like one of the worst cards you can make here. Like, you know he has Treeborn Engraved. Like, there could easily just be, like, a Caius or something that comes out and deals with this. Like, granted, you have Valor, but, like... I don't know. I think Sangan is way better, especially because you have 2 copies of Tour Guide. So you can make this Leviathan Dragon as a follow-up play on the next turn after he attempts to Caius your Sangan, right? But in reality, like it's actually like one of the worst plays you can do with Tour Guide is making a turn 1 Leviathan Dragon, unless you're like really afraid of like Thunder King or something like that. Like in reality, taking the +1 and just having that Sangan on board has way more presence than this. So I think this play is really sus.
A Leviathan Dragon, just so we can clear it.
It is Mother Grizzly.
Oh, not even close.
Good card.
Who do we want to get?
Cool thing about Mother Grizzly is he can now just get Sea Lancer, which is pretty strong.
Let's grab Lancer here.
Sure, that's frightening. Go ahead.
All right, stand by me. Let's go get our guy. Ugh, this guy ain't even good here, is he?
Yeah, they have to be banished, right?
Yeah. So we'll banish Swap here to summon Ronin. Tribute Treeborn Frog for Caius.
Yep.
Let's activate Lancer.
It's just Swap Frog.
Why didn't he just Valor? Like, if Lancer resolves, it's going to be a 2300 monster with a Swap Frog under it. That doesn't deal with your Leviathan Dragon. Why are you holding Valor here? Like, what does that do? Like, you have another Tour Guide, but you already used your Leviathan Dragon. Doesn't... Like, what?
Frog, he goes to 23. Yeah, I'll Valor this.
And of course we're gonna Valor the Sea Lancer.
Fine.
And I'll try in for 24.
Ugh.
Not making any mistakes like last time. Looking back, trying to go for lethal against the deck on 3 Battle Fader Tragodia Gores was probably not a smart fucking move. So back to you.
Now you know how it feels to play against you when you're playing your fucking fish tags.
See, and now he's like in an awkward spot because Tour Guide is here to like Leviathan Dragon is there to out a situation, not to like generate just generic board presence. That's why you don't want to make it early in like turn 1. You generally want to make Leviathan Dragon or Leviair based on the situation. So now this Tour Guide can like get Sangan, but he's already behind so much tempo and cards. Like this Gores kind of helps out nicely, but he's still in like a really awkward spot because of how he played that last turn.
That's correct. That is correct.
Let's see. Caius is a fucking problem. So is Lancer. Yeesh. Okay. I will normal a Tour Guide.
Yeah.
Strive for it.
Yep.
Grab the Sangan.
Yep.
All right, let's make the only other target we
Why are you overlaying?
Leviair. I was going to say Leviathan, but that one's already...
Bro, what are you gonna get? The Swap Frog? Like, what's the goal here? I don't understand. Like, I guess it can swing over Sea Lancer, but Sea Lancer says that it can only use its effect once while it's face up on the field. So right now the card's actually just hard dead. Like, it's just a 1300 vanilla. Like, it can't do anything. So yeah, this makes zero sense at all.
Already gone. We'll detach here.
Get your...
Might as well bring back the Leviathan.
Oh, of course. You know, the reason why we made Leviair is so we could just cheat. You know, let's see. Can I go back? Do we have the card text of Leviair? Okay, there we go. Let's do our daily reading lesson for the history of Jank. You know, I think every single episode of these, I've had a reading lesson. So, let's talk about Leviair. Okay. 2 level 3 monsters, once per turn. You can detach 1 material from this card, then target 1 banish level 4 or lower monster, special summon that target to your field. Level 4 or lower monster.
But that one's already gone. We'll detach here.
Yep.
Might as well bring back the Leviathan.
Yep.
And we'll go to battle. Just hit for 7.
No, my God.
What upsets me is neither of these two recognize that this was just an illegal play. Like, both, like MBT's like, oh yeah, go for it. Like,
he's down. Can't clear the Caius.
I'm gonna bring out Trag here as well.
Oh,
interesting.
That's fucking great. All right, go ahead.
All right, stand by. We'll bring the boy. We're gonna econ take Leviair.
Oh, that's not good. Yep.
No, he shouldn't bring back the Treeborn here. It like yes, you can bring it back, and like that's like the enemy controller combo. But actually, like especially like I'm assuming he's planning on tributing this Levia. There's no other reason to steal it. But like the actual good play here is to detach to bring your swap frog back. You get to dump another frog, and then you can even do crazy plays where like you use this swap frog to bounce your own Caius for the cost. Then you can make a gotchi and then tribute the Leviair to banish the illegally in play monster. Like, actually nutso play here if he did it right, but the fact that he brought Treeborn Frog out means he just no longer has the space. Unless he, like, can... I don't know if there's a level 2 at his grave, like, make a gotchi here with, like, these two, but that's, like, so much worse.
Econ Treeborn. It's so good.
It's nice. It's pretty decent. This is...
Yeah, it's usually a good combo, not good here.
It doesn't matter. Let's tribute Leviair and Treeborn for Gores, I think.
A hard...
Oh! Guys, you remember that super awesome play I just talked about where he could have retributed for Caius? He instead decided to just normal summon a Gores. I'm sorry, that was just like the worst possible play he could have made. Also, what happens if you get Dark Hold? Like, if you kept this Gores in hand, you get Dark Hold, you have a Gores, you're fine. But, like, now, like, you have Trag and Gores, like, oh, God. This is some sussy baka play from Mr. MBT.
Sacked Gores, yeah, sure.
Combat, 27.
Okay. So I take 7 here.
24.
24 and Trag is... This is exact? Are you fucking with me?
I am not.
I'm not either. Thanks for attacking with that first.
Okay, cool.
Nice bait.
Sure. This is all fine.
Yep.
All right, second man.
What do you got?
I should have kept Gores. I could keep Gores here.
Could have stolen my Gores.
Yeah,
you should have kept Gores.
Unfortunately, I don't think I have any.
He also just like blatantly played into Gores. He just swung in with the like it's the rule of thumb, especially in retro Yu-Gi-Oh! Always attack with the lowest attack position monster first. The better rule of thumb is also if your opponent could have Gores, then don't attack with your last attack being your highest attack monster. Just don't attack at all. So then they just take the damage and can't drop Gores. Like, it's a really easy card to play around. And it's just significantly better to do that. Yes, you can potentially win a game, but it's not worth that like risk of just like losing to the Gores. Because right now, MBT is actually in a really bad spot because of like all the stuff he's committed to the board that pretty much accomplishes nothing. And then, you know, the lack of, counterplay. That being said, had he made Gachi, or been able to make Gachi, he would have been in a much better place.
Anything. God, I wish I could make Gantetsu. I feel like I can't. I have no 2s in grave. Yeah, back to you.
Okay, we'll draw. That's not good enough. All right, so now we gotta do what? Cleanup duty here. Yeah, we'll just take the easy path here. So just Gores into Caius.
Take 3
for 3, and then 24 into your 12 on Trag. Don't want you doing any bullshit with that card. Second main, I'll set 1, and I will throw it back.
Let's get the boy.
Here he comes.
That's like the worst draw in my deck. Sure.
Perfect timing as always.
7. Let's normal swap frog. We'll send another swap here, I think. Let's do dupe. No, let's get the poison draws out of the deck. What am I doing? All right, these 2.
Gotchi.
Yeah.
Now we make the Gachi.
Okay.
Combat.
Okay, thank God he put it in defense.
4.
That's fine.
31 into 24. Yeah, that's not lethal. Would have been nice. Second main.
Pretty close.
I'll just pass you.
You're close. All right, fuck it. Reborn.
All right.
Insta rips and plays that reborn.
Okay.
What the fuck?
Flip Treeborn.
Oh my God, that's 9.
That's 9, baby.
Yep.
Trish has
Yeah,
appeared.
I'm not
We'll
a fan
try
of
for it.
this.
Wow.
Yeah, that Valor made it pretty bad. In all honesty, I think he should have gone for maybe like Scrap Dragon, just because of the fact that it like I mean I guess either way like you're gonna be hurt by Valor, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like that Trish was just like burning everything. Also, I think he could have maybe swung in first. Nah, I mean, I guess the Trish was fine, but yeah, Valor really, really hurts here.
Fuck. All right. I figured that was my best look no matter what. Battle, I'll hit Gotchi to sink your guy by a few hundred. Only other thing I could have done was I could have just brought back a big dude to get Gotchi off of all materials. So this will be what? You're at 29, so I would take 2, go down to 6. That's pretty close. All right, go ahead.
Oh, what a draw. Salvage!
Ooh, that's pretty good.
Holy shit. Okay.
I'm gonna grab Grizzly here, actually. Wait, did I detach the swap frog from Gotchi?
You
I'm
did.
the stupidest man in the universe. All right, there's still a way around it.
Just crash the Gotchi into Trish.
Oh.
And you get it. You take 2,000, but you get the Ronin engraved.
All right, okay. We're just gonna tribute summon Lancer.
Yeah, this also works too. Yeah, that's fine.
We're gonna go Ronin here, banishing poison draw. Lancer effect. Target the 2 banished cards.
No response.
Woo! Whoop. All right, so he is now a 23. I will go to combat here. Go crash.
Sure.
And then let's get another card out of your hand.
Wait.
Oh my God, we did it! Hey!
Hold up. Let's go back a second.
Crash.
Sure.
And then let's...
This man has 2 battle faders. I don't know if you know much about Yu-Gi-Oh, but it ain't over until the last card is drawn, as literally every anime protagonist says. And there's actually a lot of outs he could draw here. Like, if he just sees a Caius, like, he's actually just chilling from this board state. And you also have Treeborn Engrave. You have a lot of ways to just stall for quite a bit of time to see if you draw something. Even, like, a Chaos Monster is going to deal with this. So, like, I don't know why he just scooped. That was kind of psychotic, but, you know, all right, I guess.
get another card out of your hand. Oh my God, we did it! Hey!
I had Fader, but it didn't work.
I had Fader, but it didn't work. Brain no work.
Boy, I can't wait for the comments to roast me on that one. I was thinking because we've been using Gores and Trag, that Battle Fader
nice.
like requires you to take the damage.
He recognized it, but in reality, it's not the comments you should be worried about, Mr. Cimo.
Because I haven't resolved Battle Fader in like probably 10 years. So yeah, I was dead anyway because like I had creature swap, but you just had little dudes on the field, so like I couldn't take a big guy that you had to ever really make it matter. So yeah, it is what it is. If I lose this because of that, then so be it. I 100% deserve it. But I will now remember this time that Battle Fader works that way.
For sure. And I will say, you know, it's not your fault. you were captivated by the beauty of Sea Lancer, and
yes.
This is an awkward hand.
Be playing suboptimally.
What the fuck do I do with this?
That's what I'm asking.
1 for 1.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
Yeah, I think 1 for 1's actually a best play here, just to get the Piper.
Yeah.
No fear. No fucking fear. All right, we missed what? 2 times? No shot we miss a 3rd one.
Oh,
right? Let's go.
That's like best case scenario. Getting the Kinka and the draw, that means he can just keep doing this from now on. It's so
baby,
good.
And we get another card. Easiest game of my life. All right.
Bro, and you can just swing this, like slam this Foolish and then get a Treeborn engraved. That's so cracked.
Okay, this is working out. This is
like ideal scenario.
Now we have a lot we can do. Okay. So unfortunately, Mystic Piper is a hard once per turn, it looks like.
True.
So I could have Kinkabio'd into it, but I don't think that will work. Fuck it.
Guys, is it pronounced Kinkabio or Bio? I always say Bio. But maybe that's like just hard stupid. Let me know in the comments. Kinkabio, Kinkabio. I don't know how you can type out that pronunciation, but you guys will figure it out. Which one is it?
Pass. Go ahead.
Well, that's not ideal for me. I'll tell you that. Go!
That's definitely not what you want to see.
Let the shenanigans begin. Kinkabio. Yep. I will bring back Piper.
Yep.
I was going defense, special summon it. No, it does not. Okay, cool. Declare Piper.
Yeah,
I'm the best fucking player in the game.
Yeah, just
holy shit.
Fuck me up, King.
Oh my god. All right. Anything else we want to do? I got like 9 cards in hand. The world is my oyster. I have already normaled, sadly, so I can't really do much else.
This is the raw strength of Piper Chaos right here. You hit, you feel amazing.
I want to start applying some pressure, so I'm going to try it. I'll Foolish.
Yeah.
I'll dump another Piper.
Yep.
I'm going to banish a Light and a Dark. We'll go BLS.
Oh my god. Jesus. Okay.
We'll put him in attack. That's fine. I'm just gonna banish this.
Sure.
Freeborn. Cool. Then
Foolishing the Piper was like a decent idea. Just being able to kind of put it, like have another one to cycle with your Kinka is pretty good. Especially because, like, yeah, summoning BLS here is not so, because if MBT doesn't have Valor, this Treeborn does hurt. But also, at the same time, Cimo gets hard punished by Valor. But if MBT had Valor, he probably would have used it on the Kinka instead of on the BLS. So it's all fair.
I could attack you for 400, which is very comedic. Don't really like want to play into Gores or Trag though, so I kind of just want to.
Smart. He's learning.
I'll pass it here. We'll put Kinka back in hand.
Hand size.
No, that actually puts me to 7, so okay. I will actually set a card. I'll set this.
Man, you're gonna do that again next turn, aren't you?
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
There's no shot I'm gonna hit a 3rd one, right?
Let's go Sidra.
Sure.
Let's go Caius.
Oh.
Target.
I'll target BLS. I mean,
we had the out.
Didn't think that would work. Let's try and get in for 24.
That's fine.
All right, what you got for me?
Well, it's been going so well so far.
Yeah, let's keep going, baby.
Let's try it. Let's try it. It's the name of the deck, buddy. It's the name of the deck. Activate.
Yeah.
Joseph, there's no shot I can go 3 for 3.
No
right?
way.
No shot I can go 3 for 3.
Oh my god.
Oh, that one's so bad too.
Wait a minute.
So
holy shit.
Terrible.
Oh my god.
Draw your card.
It gets better. I'm gonna creature swap.
He was so hyped about hitting that he forgot to draw his card. This is like this, same thing with Maxi in that other game. Like he just he gets so excited about drawing that he just forgets, But this creature swap play is pretty good. Would have been better with an extra card, probably, but still pretty good.
Oh yeah, you can have him. I don't need this card.
Fuck, I still have so many cards. Kinka's gonna come back to hand. I actually have an issue of, hand size. That's gonna put me to 8? What the fuck do I do? I don't want to kill the Kinka, because I can just keep going. Yeah, fuck it. I'll set 2. Give me my fucking cat back.
You can set 2. You can also just pitch a fader for hand size. Like, look at the card advantage here. You're literally up, we have 6 in hand. You're like on a +4 on your opponent. Like it's really not that big of a deal to pitch a fader.
Yeah. Okay.
Go ahead.
I really need a swap frog. That's not a swap frog. Oh man. Oh boy. All right. Go ahead.
Okay. Draw. Do I go for 4 for 4? No. I probably need to actually start killing you. All right, I'll
I
sack
agree.
your Caius for my Caius. I'll just banish this.
Okay, respect the aggression.
I need these guys, please.
Yeah, this
All
is
right,
really hard for the frog
eventually,
player.
You're gonna have to do something, so I'll hit. Anything?
No.
Oh, okay. Didn't think we'd get that far. Second main, I'm perfectly content with passing. Go ahead.
Just give me a fucking swap rock, please.
The weekly MBT prayer.
See, it's going well. It's
Oh
going well.
my god. He just ripped another Caius, man.
I am going to die.
Oh,
I'm so
that's gotta
mad.
be so tilted.
Fuming.
I
That
don't
one's not
blame
even
you.
good!
I'm sorry. Oh my god. This is comedy. This is actually comedy. I can try to clean this one up, but I imagine there's no shot that happens. We'll try, though. Reboard.
Targeting?
Your Caius.
Yeah.
I will banish a light and a dark.
This is pretty safe given the fact that he just does it, like, didn't have Gores or Trag on the last turn, so, like, he pretty much can just go for game in a relatively safe fashion, I suppose.
Bro.
For Sork.
Come on!
24.
You got it.
No shot! No
Yo.
fucking oh my god, look at that hand!
I needed a swap frog badly. It wasn't
Oh
coming.
my
It wasn't coming.
God.
Oh boy,
Fuck.
that was agony. Holy shit. This is about as well as it went in history of Yu-Gi-Oh 2. I just wow. This deck is so pee bad.
Can I just mention how I stopped doing the
As a reminder, Lancer Frogs is not a bad deck. He literally is just playing into its worst matchup for the very reason of we just saw. Dropping multiple Caius to just kind of banish all of his frogs. We have DD Crow. There was no playing the game for MBT this game. Like, it was so impossibly hard. This is a really bad matchup for the deck. Probably its worst matchup.
Kinkabio when I drew Caius into Caius.
You were like, all right, it's time to.
I'm like, all right. I have stacked the deck. I now know the top cards of my deck are not level 1.
Oh my god, atrocious.
Holy shit! I just didn't have like a lot of action to be able to kill you quicker because I had Tour Guide, Double Fader, the Crow, and then the Kinkabio. So I had plenty to like deal with, but I just didn't have like big bodies. And then I started getting the Caiuses and then the Sork, and then I had Mind Control just rotting.
That's how that deck be working.
I mean, this really showcased what both of our decks were doing. You know, it's this
Yeah.
slow kind of high roll style gameplay where, like, if you hit the right part of your deck, it's crazy. But
Yeah.
it's nowhere near as crazy as the top decks were during this period. You know, obviously
No.
this is a time that includes like fucking wind up, right? So
Yeah.
Guys, you literally are pulling decks from my website. My website has the entire 2011 library. There's so, like, everything that's in there. And yes, there is a weird sussy windup list, but it is not like meta windups. It is not an act like there was no like party boat, there was no hunter, there was no rat, there was no shark, there was no magician. I guess there was magician, but yeah, nothing that could really trigger it or like trigger it effectively. So yeah, this is not like the best deck of the format at this time was Tengu Plants. You're still playing in that format. It's all the same thing. You're literally downloading them from my website every single episode. I don't understand.
Exactly.
Exactly. A pitch that if the stars align, I can normal a Sea Lancer and draw a card off of the Poison Draw Frog is not really that big of a sell. The thing that your deck is doing that I think gave it the teeth necessary to put up such amazing results, it did have a couple of really impressive finishes, are that, like we saw in Game 3, if you hit Piper once, you win.
Yep.
Like if a Kinkia Bio ends up into your hand with a Piper in the graveyard, and like you have just taken control of the game, there's not a lot your opponent can do, and it has the added benefit.
They can affect Valor the Kinka Bio. It doesn't get to return to the hand during the end phase, and so it dies. So you're only running 2 of them, so Effect Valor does deal with it. It's not an auto win, but it is very strong.
Benefit of being able to like flex the dark monsters that are all battle stoppers and the Mystic Piper as material for Sork, as material for, I mean, we saw BLS 3 times, and of course as a tribute fodder for cards like Caius. The difference is with Sea Lancer, the end goal has 2300 attack, right? Like, it's not like a
2300 attack plus usually a gotchi, so he's a 2700 attack, and he can't be destroyed by anything. And if they attempt to destroy him in any way, or if he would be destroyed, you get to draw a card or search a card. It's definitely a lot better than he's given credit.
Hugely expressive, like super powerful monster in the same way that BLS is. But it is strange, both of these kind of aiming to do a similar thing. One of them a little more successfully than the other.
I think what's fascinating about Piper, too, is that it reminds me of, like, Diamond Dude in a way, but I think one of the key differences is that you keep the card no matter what. Where, like, Diamond Dude, if you didn't hit a normal spell, you weren't going to be able to use it. Where with Piper, regardless of when you sack Piper, you get the card. You get to get another card if it's obviously a 1. Right? So then it just becomes Pot of Greed. And then the synergy with Kinkabio that you can just recursively do that. And if you are just insane at the game, get to Pot of Greed every single turn. And the fact that they're chaos typings on top of it, you start to think like, okay, like maybe there's something here. And, you know, to more your point of what you were saying, the level 1 pool is quite good, especially in the chaos department, right? If you hit a battle fader, you're probably not going to die, so you could repeat the Kinkabio thing again. If you get Crow, most of the decks were graveyard reliant, so that's a good hit as well. Same thing goes for Effect Veiler. I just dumped Treeborn Frog. That's another one. I meant to do Veiler, but both cards are just very white, so I thought they were the same one. And like Bulb is another one as well. If you hit Bulb, with all of these big idiots that you have, whether you mind control something, reborn something, or if you just summon your own Gores, Caius, Chaos Sork, whatever, you can then just take them and turn them into any of your synchro plays to be able to capitalize on that. So the level 1 pool is actually quite robust. And we know this because 1-for-1 has been a strong card in Yu-Gi-Oh! Since like the beginning of time, right? So the fact that like Piper essentially incentivizes people for this build around, I really love cards that make players think like this. And even though they may not have been the most successful decks or just had like one small stint of playability, it's cool to see what people were able to come up with. And I thought this was neat.
Yeah, no, for sure. I am happy that this deck got to have it stay in the sun on Jank. I'm happy that I will never have to play Sea Lancer again as well.
So guys, that's...
Yeah, I think I'm pretty glad that they at least had fun playing the decks. It looked like they really enjoyed themselves. As a reminder, this is the great September 2011 format they've just been grinding through in these last couple episodes from the decks on my website. And that it's the greatest format Yu-Gi-Oh's ever seen. It's super diverse, so many viable decks. It is just so fun, so balanced, and very, very skillful. You can just see the impact of some of the misplays that they were making. Had they not made them, they could have been in a much more winning position. The tides of the games could have turned. It really takes a lot of skill and thought into every single turn, how you approach things. And yeah, it's just a phenomenal format. And as a reminder, if you guys want to try it, we have a Tengu plant tournament coming up on the 13th of this month of August. So free entry, $200+ prize pool. So I would definitely recommend you guys checking out. I'll put a link to the Discord that you can join to participate in the description below. So make sure you check that out. But other than that, guys, that wraps it up for this video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you enjoy content like this. And thanks so much for watching, and have a great time dueling today.